How is it going, everyone? It has been a hot second since we did a video, since I've even had a video out, which is just ridiculous because I have like a couple videos just like chilling on the computer. But while here filming a new one, I have something pretty neat. So recently I picked this bait up. This is a Fat Tony's Tamale, the blank. And I already test swam it once before. I'm gonna sling some paint on it. Slinging some paint, that'll be a whole separate video. But I just kind of want to talk about this bait a little bit. Didn't do an unboxing of it, but right off the bat, like, this bait is pretty solid. I think it's well built. I do have like a couple like constructive critiques about it. So like when I got this bait, it was shipped super well. Like Tony Campos, the guy who makes these baits, Tony like had this wrapped up in bubble wrap really well, and then he had it taped to the bottom of the box so this bait wasn't gonna get jostled around, the tail wasn't gonna get all bent up. It already came with the tail fixed in it. It's a pretty, it feels like a really durable tail, and it's just super glued in there. There's no pins or screws or anything. And same with the bill. The bill is just super glued or epoxied in there. So this Tamale, this is a wake and crank style bait. You can get this, I think, like 1 foot below the surface. Like I would say like maybe 1 to 3 feet, we'll say conservatively. But we're gonna go and test swim it, show you guys the action, give a little bit of my impressions to it. The resin itself looks pretty good. There are like some seams that could have been like sanded down a little bit better, but like for the price of this bait, this is $40 for the blank. This seems like a very, very solid lure. Oh, this was a couple of my only other critiques, and this is just in like the resin pouring and molding. You can see right there, there's an air bubble on this tail piece, and then there's an air bubble on this first head piece. And literally, like, this bait has like a good action to it. So we'll get out on the water, we'll test it out, we'll get going. All right, so the Tamale. Now, one thing I was a fan of with this bait is that it came with hooks. One thing I was not a fan of when I got this bait is that the hooks came on. And I'll show you guys the eyes when I get back, because the eyes are pretty cool. But get you set up here. So I got this running on a 1-to-4 rod with 20-pound fluoro. But let's do a straight retrieve, kind of medium fast. So I'm retrieving this at a medium fast speed, rod tip down, pointed towards the bait. And it comes down on the surface, and if we crank it faster, a front hook is wanting to get fouled up on my line. So if we fish it faster, it'll dive more. So we'll fish it at a faster pace. It probably dove down about 6 inches. Let me see if I can get you guys a little bit better view. I'm gonna retrieve it at a slow pace now. Rod still pointing towards the bait. Oh, just get this. Not a super hard wake. But that tail end has like a lot of nice action. Now when I was playing around with this the other day, how I liked to wake it, and it waked a lot harder, is I have the rod tip up and at a medium retrieve. So there's a rod tip up, the medium retrieve. Let's go rod tip up, we'll go faster retrieve. It doesn't seem to like that faster retrieve, that rod tip up. That was my favorite way to fish it. It's just like a medium retrieve, that rod tip up. This is kind of how I like to fish it. Just a medium retrieve that just barely cracks under the surface. This bait was pretty good when you burned it too. Like dives not super far, but I just got my rod tip down. We're just burning it, and it had a pretty good action. You see, bring that in. Cause yeah, you could fish this bait pretty fast. And then let me see if I can get the cadence down. That's about how I like to fish it. Just down and a medium retrieve. It's got a good action like that. But I did have it walking the other day a little bit. You can get it to kind of back and forth a little bit. So it'll shoot off to one side and then the other. That's definitely not my favorite way to fish it. Alright, that was like the first impressions. You guys got an idea of how this bait works. Let me know what you want to see me paint this bait as. I was kind of thinking baby bass, but we could do sort of a shad kind of a profile, I feel like. So we could paint it in a shad color as well. But let me know, because I mean, this is a pretty cool bait. For $40 and you can buy a blank, I don't really think you can go wrong with that. It has a good action to it. Hopefully, like, I'm still new to swim baits, so hopefully I could like show you the action good enough. I was a little more worried about my camera falling into the water versus anything else, but hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely go check out these Tamales by Fat Tony swim baits, because these are a cool bait, and for $40 I think they're like a little undervalued in my opinion, especially for Blake. I think he could even go up to like $50-$60 if you wanted to. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you for the next one.